Want to give a quick shout out to the flagship sponsor of David Talks Buffs and David Talks Broncos YouTube channel, and that is Profit X, America's #1 sports prediction market. This is peer-to-peer sports prediction where players play against each other, like you and me, instead of a sports book versus the house. You almost always get the best odds on any play that you're looking to make. They operate in over 40 states, including Texas, where I reside. So use the promo code Dave and claim up to $200 in profit cash for all plays in the first 30 days of playing on the site. Terms and conditions apply. Go ahead, click the link in the description, sign up using my promo code Dave on Profit X, and join me on America's #1 sports prediction market. What is going on, Buff Nation? Ralphie 7 ran tough, and our Buffs went out, and they covered. They barely did it, but they covered. They covered, defeating Wyoming 37. Oh, man, I still got Houston on here. This is what happens when we're doing it past midnight. Wyoming, let me change this up. Russ, how you doing tonight? How are you feeling? First takeaways from this Buffs victory. We're back to 2-2.
Yeah, I said it this week. I said when they announced that Salter was going to be the starter, that this needed to be, and I tweeted this out, as he started taking off this game. I said, Salter is, if I'm being honest, this is the FU game in a way to Coach Prime. Like, you're going to bench me. I'm going to show you that you should have never have benched me. This is what you want out of your players. You want them to not get pissed off that they didn't play. How you get back at everybody for making that bad decision. You go out there and you put in a performance that he did tonight. And for the most part, Dave, I could not fault Salter really on anything. I mean, and heck, you could even say the 15-yard sack at the beginning of the game. But guess what he did, Dave? He learned from it. And 3 other times he threw the ball away in the same scenario. That is amazing, guys. That is absolutely amazing. That is showing that he understands what's going on. He understands what's happening within the game. And he just did exactly what he needed to do. He threw that Brock like it was nothing. He ran the ball effectively. I mean, besides obviously the Sincere Brown play, which we can talk about as well, for the most part, it was like if he took off running, Dave, he took off running. He took off running. And it looked really, really good.
Yeah, I think, overall, we'll get to the defense later in this week, guys. Like, the storyline coming out of this game right now is that Kaden Salter played how he needed to play, man, to take hold of this quarterback position, the starting quarterback position. Shout out to Big Mike. That's right. He said the total yards for K-Salt needed to be 395. And what did we get from Kaden Salter? We got 304 passing, and we also got 86 on the ground. So that's 390 total yards. Man, you're pretty much right on there, Big Mike. Congratulations to you, man. I was very impressed with Kaden Salter's decision making. Yeah, there were only a few plays that I was like, man, what is going on? Of course, the most egregious one was on that first drive, holding the ball, looking like Shador. Man, we don't want any of that. No. And even when he killed some of those plays, throwing them into the dirt, like that was the right play to do. Very, very happy with what we saw from Kaden Salter. And again, guys, if you had the Buffs on Profit X with them covering, you got to be happy because we do not win this game. We do not cover this game without Kaden Salter, man. He stole the show. He was our best player on offense. And I mean, just how about some of those throws that he made, man? He was hitting shots from all over the field. He showed some great touch on the run. I think my favorite throw of his was that one to Sincere Brown, 68 yards, rolling out. Just showed beautiful touch on it. And Sincere just flew past everybody, man. I was really happy.
What I love on that one is the same thing that we saw against Georgia Tech, Dave. When he rolled out, Kaden Salter pointed. and told Sincere Brown where to go. And Sincere Brown went from coming across the field, cut up because there's nobody behind him. I mean, K-Salt can see that. Sincere Brown, not necessarily. And it was just great to say, hey, go touch float over the top again. Sincere was on the same page. They both connected, and then he's gone. Like, that is what we needed. That is what K-Salt needed. So it was absolutely excellent to be able to see that. And just overall, he had a true command of the offense. Everything worked out well. I thought we had a good split of running the ball versus passing the ball. And guess what, Dave? You want to hear this?
Mm-hmm.
We ran the ball more than we threw the ball tonight.
Good.
31 carries versus 28 passing attempts. That is parity.
Oh, I do want to say, hey, Coach Flea, take that L on the way.
Oh, yeah, we completely forgot about that.
That's right, Coach Flea.
You know why there's no glitz and glamour and cameras? It's because you're in Laramie, Wyoming, Coach Flea, okay? Just be happy you have a job at that point. And now I love, by the way, because I never got to talk about that, Dave, because remember, when he left, we thought it was health-related. Come to find out, he got straight up told to leave. Like, he got fired.
Well, yeah, I could tell you that, man. He was straight up booty. He was straight up booty. And hey, he was lucky. They got to go up against a soft Colorado Buffaloes defense. They ran over us, guys. Yes, you guys are in the comments saying, man, we should not have given up 20 points to an offense that essentially averages like 0 points per game. I'm with you. But we're gonna start with the positive right now. And
yes.
That is Kaden Salter, man. He stepped up. It's been a rocky road, but I'm so happy for him. Imagine where a little confidence can go, man. We might have to win some games that are shootouts in conference play with how the defense is playing. The fact that we put up 37, 35 of those points coming from the offense. Should have had 38, but it is what it is. That makes me so happy. I'm so happy for Kaden Salter, and this is who he is. Maybe not the highest completion percentage, but the big chunk plays.
That is so misleading, though. I mean, 3 incompletion or 3 drops, Dave. I mean, again, we're having the case of the drops this season. Every game, there's at least 2 drops by the receivers. That's not good enough from there. But yeah, I think his stat line it's very misleading what it actually is. I think he had an absolutely excellent game. Not to mention, Dave, all of the throwaways that he had in the situations that we want. Yeah, you just look at the box score and you're just like, oh, that's not great. That's not such a great stat line. Watch the game. It was a masterclass by Kaden Salter. It was a perfect game, if I'm going to be honest about that. That's as perfect as you can get for a quarterback, without going completely off the rails on stats. So that's what it looked like. It looked great. When we do want to get into the defense, I'm like the last touchdown I'm not as mad about as a lot of people in the chat are. There's a lot of reasons for that.
Well, I don't want to get to it yet. Before we get too carried away, we got to talk about how you do not try to beat the Buffs when you debut a new Ralphie. Good riddance to Ralphie 6. I was even pissed off to see ESPN spend a minute on Ralphie 6. Good riddance. I hope I don't have to talk about Ralphie 6 again for the rest of my life. Ralphie 700 pounds, came out like a bolt of lightning on both of her runs, running past the 50. Russ, when she is full size, I think she's going to be like Ralphie 5, going towards the 25, 20-yard line. Maybe we even see some full field runs. I was very happy.
Yeah, no, excellent performance by her. She ran hard, Dave. I mean, what I loved seeing, and I noticed it that very first run, she was pulling the trainers. With Ralphie 6, the trainers were pulling Ralphie 6. No, Ralphie 7 was actually pulling the trainers along, which is how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to work. It is not supposed to be easy to keep up with that Buffalo, and she absolutely performed. And hey, that was the omen we needed, Dave. That was the omen that K-Salt and this offense needed, because they're back. They're back, baby. They are back. Ralphie's back. Salt's back. We're back, guys. We are back when it comes to that offense. So, hey, this is what we wanted to see all season long.
Yeah, it's great to see us again. This is a, a Wyoming defense that's given up 15 points a game, and again, a lot of people were like, I wasn't expecting us to put up 37. So I'm happy that we did that. Now, uh, anybody else that you want to give a shout out to on the offense? I think I want to shout out is Joseph Williams coming
Yep.
down with a really big touchdown catch as well. That was a nice contested grab that he had there from
Yep.
Kaden Salter. And was that off of play action? That was kind of nice.
I screamed that. I said that. I was like, oh my gosh, that was pure play action beauty. Gorgeous. Unbelievable. Love it.
Yeah. And okay, I've seen some different things in the comments. I haven't listened to the post game yet. For some reason, WrestleMania is on now, but Shermer was calling the plays, right? It wasn't Bartoloni.
People keep saying it was Bartoloni, but I mean they were showing Shermer in the booth with the play calling. I'm pretty sure he was still calling the plays. Okay.
No. Shermer did call a better game this week. We saw a more diverse, creative offense this week, and for at least this week, Pat Shermer's not going to have any calls to be fired from me. Well, actually, I can't promise that because I might just be on it come Wednesday. But for now, hey, Pat Shermer, that's great. Now let's see you call a creative, good offensive game plan with scheme going up against another Power 4 opponent. But he did what he should have done against a G5 opponent in Wyoming. Congratulations to him. And hell, I even saw us execute a couple screens. That was awesome.
Yeah. No, and it was the proper time, Dave. Like it seemed like it was at the right moments. It was in the right play as far as what down and distance it was. It wouldn't hurt the team, and I think they caught Wyoming a few times on those screens that allowed us to get some yards. So that was excellent to see. My biggest thing, Dave, is we finally got the ball down the field. I mean, Kaden Salter took some shots. He should have had a second shot to Sincere Brown that he just overthrew, I think, a little bit. Think overcompensated, thought maybe Sincere's, a little too fast, but that's amazing to see Kaden Salter taking those shots down the field, not being worried about that. Did he miss a couple? Yeah, that's going to happen. Every college quarterback's going to miss a few of those. But he didn't make any mistakes. He mistake-free football again, Dave. So far this year, Kaden Salter, no interceptions, knock on wood, in his time playing. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. And today, finally, we saw him unleash what he is and be a football player and just go out there and do what he needed to do.
Yeah, man. The biggest concern I had about Kaden Salter coming into this year was the fact that he's been turnover prone at Liberty, man. And he has done a much better job taking care of the ball when he's been out there on the field. I love to see it. Oh, yeah, we got to give Omarion. I'll read out the stat line here.
Yeah.
Omarion, 6 receptions leading the team for 88 yards and a touchdown. That was a beautiful ball he caught before. Man, that's a tough one because you're going to get hit by that field goal post right there. So credit to him for good concentration right there. It's a tough grab. Sincere Brown, 1 for 68. Joseph Williams, 1 for 47. Terrell Timmons with a couple of grabs, 2 for 30. I thought he caught that other one, but whatever. Hakeem Williams, 3 catches, 26 yards. Draylon Miller, 2 for 25. I'll throw in there another drop. But it was nice to see Draylon get a couple different catches. And then rushing the ball, man, Simeon Price, 2 for 8. I wanted to see more Simeon Price. He got hurt. DeKalen Taylor might have gotten a little banged up, 9 for 22. Michael Welsh looked fine running the ball, but did have that fumble at the end. That was a 44-yard run. He was 6 for 67. That was very disappointing. But overall, from the offense, love to see that. Any other comments, or else I wanted to shout out a couple guys on the defense that deserve recognition.
I mean, offensive line did a bang-up job when it came to pass rush and pass blocking. If I remember correctly, K-Salt did not get sacked tonight. Wyoming's best defensive lineman broke his streak of consecutive games with a sack.
They were credited with 1 sack on ESPN.
Where who did
and
they
I
give it
don't
to
even
somebody?
remember it.
I don't remember it either. Was
Braden
it like one of
Wilson,
those?
number
Okay,
5.
Braden Wilson. Was it like one of those like running plays that he just didn't get back to line of scrimmage, so
No,
they gave him the
no.
sack? It had to have been it.
That's what we're gonna say.
Yeah. So, big props to the line, especially they played the whole second half, Dave, without Jordan Seaton and without Zy Chrysler. Both of them out injured. Now, here's what we can hope for, Keith. Okay, everybody, here's what we can hope for. When the announcers said that Coach Prime was talking to Simeon Price's parents, told them there's nothing to worry about, that they essentially said the game was out of reach at that point and pulled Simeon Price. They weren't going to let him go back in. He wanted to go back in. Even though he was in a boot, they were just being precautious. My guess, Dave, they're being precautious with Seaton
I
for
hope so.
next week. I'm hoping to the Lord above, because guess what? Yes, we could get to that eventually. But if we're without Seaton and Chrysler for BYU next week, we're in trouble, guys. I'm just gonna say that we're in trouble, because BYU's defensive line will manhandle this offensive line, especially without Seaton on the left tackle spot. So that's gonna be a little bit interesting.
Oh yeah, it was on that first drive you took the sack.
Oh, that's right, the 15
Duh.
yard. Duh, yes, we literally already talked about it. It was just like that was such the beginning of the game, and that was the only mistake he had the whole game. Whole mistake he had. So
Yeah, man. Couple guys I want to shout out on the defense. Of course, overall performance, I'm very disappointed in this defense. They gave up, I want to say, close to 400 yards. No, it was 347 yards of offense. And I know the game was called inconsistently, but it was very frustrating to see many of these drives extended due to penalties on our end. Again, Anquin Barnes, one of our better defensive linemen, against a struggling defensive line right now, is going to miss the first half against BYU.
Yep.
Because of a cheap shot that he wanted to put out on the Wyoming quarterback. Just a dummy decision right there. And that was kind of the beginning of swinging this momentum back towards Wyoming in the second half, and kind of capped off by Michael Welsh fumbling near the goal line, man. Well, contact's coming. You got to have that thing high and tight, 2 hands over it. And like those guys, Anquin Barnes, Michael Welsh, I think were definitely responsible for swinging the game back in Wyoming's favor. I think that we just we got lucky, man, that Wyoming's coach had no urgency to win this game come the fourth quarter. But I did want to shout out to Feek Byard and Arden Walker. I thought those guys played really well in today's game.
Yeah, no. When it comes to the defense, it's not perfect. It's not pretty. But Arden Walker showed up. Safety, 1.5 sacks, led the team with 6 tackles. A little bit different, Dave, than the last couple weeks when our safeties have been the ones leading the way with tackling. Yeah. Do you know what that says, Dave? That says that the team did a much better job at the line of scrimmage, getting the running back and the quarterback down on the ground. Because when your safety is the only one leading tackles, and it's both your safeties and linebackers, it says that they're getting to the second level a little bit more. The fact that the defensive line led the way with that, I will say Tafik Byard also was tied with Arden Walker. So he still did great, but that's also what Tafik does. He is a missile out of the back, so that's good to see. But overall, pretty decent work by them at times. I mean, they held them to 0 yards in the first quarter. 0 yards to Wyoming in the first quarter. Wyoming wasn't really getting much done. I do need to say, Dave, this is the 3rd week so far this year that Makari Vickers has been burned on a deep route by a receiver. Not that impressed with what I see by him getting burned each week, especially against a guy like, that he got burned by Wyoming. And I mean, Dave, he got burned. I mean, that double move burned him. I mean, wide open, walking in the end zone nearly. So yeah, that was a little bit frustrating. I think that is the biggest drive that I was frustrated with this team. And like you said, the Wyoming coach gave up on this game because Colorado's defense went into a prevent zone defense, knowing full well that Wyoming needed to score quickly, so they could not run the ball. And what does Wyoming do? They run 7-man front under center and hand it off just down the middle over and over and over again for an entire drive and eat up 7 minutes of the clock when you're down by 3 scores in the fourth quarter. Like, the defense was letting them do that at that point, and I hope people realize that. I hope people realize that the last drive that, Wyoming goes down for 7 minutes, it's a little bit different. They changed their defensive style because they knew what Wyoming had to do. And the Wyoming coach, Buddy had it. He decided to give up. I mean, the announcers were frustrating to me because in one moment they're complaining the whole drive, like, why aren't you going? Why aren't you going? You're still in this game. And then they do like a run play on third down and get a first down. And I hear the announcer say, what a great play call to get that first down. And I'm like, well, which is it? Should they be running the ball or should they be throwing the ball? I have no idea.
Yeah, man. I think that this is where we gotta see Robert Livingston try and do something better with this defense, man, because I can't tell you how frustrating it is. This must have been maybe the first or second drive there in the first half. It's like 3rd and 15, 3rd and 17, and we're still just playing man-to-man. And it's what's leading to these pass interference calls, like everything like that. We don't have enough good one-on-one cover guys to be running what we run. I know the quarterback for Wyoming still had a terrible completion percentage in today's game, but man, I think we made him look the best he's looked so far this year with some of those throws he was threading. And I noticed Ivan Yates out there. I don't know if that was DB or safety, but man, he got cooked on some of these run plays as the last guy defense.
Yep.
I have no idea why the hell he was out there. Why Benesith wasn't.
He didn't play at all.
Yeah, just seems so disorderly. I have no idea what's going on in the secondary. And again, like what has been a concern of mine is that with Prime, Kevin Mathis, and Robert Livingston, even going back to 2023, I guess the whole thing has been, well, if somebody's not performing well in the secondary, switch them out for somebody else. We have to run various amounts of different coverages. You can't say, oh man, we're not able to do that. We don't know how to run. Find somebody freaking teach this defense also how to play zone defense. We are too one-dimensional. We make these average quarterbacks look better than average on certain drives, and it was partially responsible for letting Wyoming back into this game, man, on defense. This is a game in which they should have had under 10 points, and we continue to let up these big chunk plays on the ground or through the air, and it has to get cleaned up with conference play starting next week again.
Yeah, Northside said it best with personnel doesn't match the scheme. I would agree 100% with that, especially on the back end. This is not a man team. We do not have man coverage. DJ McKinney is it. The rest of the DBs cannot do man. And the fact that the team ran man the whole game, got burned several times by running man, and then, it's the end of the game and they finally switched to zone, which, hey, we asked for that last year, Dave. I said that to somebody. I was like, you can't have it both ways. Last year, we literally begged this team to go zone at the end of some games that we messed up big time. And we could talk about the Kansas State game where we went man at the end of the game and got burned and let Avery Johnson throw over our heads instead of running zone. But finally, we ran zone. And yeah, it's going to be a 7-minute drive there. But why are we not mixing it up early in the game? Why are we not mixing it up early in the game and running more zone plays to help out your personnel? That would be my big takeaway on the defense. We need to see more of that to help them out.
Yeah, man, because whether it's Vickers, whether it's RJ Johnson, somebody else in there, Tion Parks, man, I think it's going to be a similar theme if we continue to just run this cover one, especially with Carter as the deep cover safety, man. I think somebody said it best. Oh yes, Northside right here. So late forgetting what comments I've highlighted. This personnel does not match the scheme, man.
Yeah,
we do not have the personnel to be playing the man heavy, putting guys on islands, man. It's not doing a service to them at all. And maybe we just need to focus on keeping things in front of us a little bit more. Because man, we're giving up these big plays that are really contributing to teams being in striking distance for coming back on us, man. Again, this probably should have felt, to me, this felt like a tighter victory than 37-20. But again, we got lucky that for some reason, man, this coach just flat out gave up.
I still don't get that. Like, if I'm his team right now, I'm giving up on this season because my coach gave up on this game with an entire quarter to play and 3 scores. Like, what? And then he doesn't, no onside kick, Dave. And he doesn't call any timeouts on Colorado's drive. And so Colorado's just standing over there like, okay, we're just going to run up the score. Fine. We'll just keep going.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But I think like again, with how this defense has been incredibly inconsistent, they very rarely can get short yardage stops. I think that the big encouragement that I have coming out of this is that maybe our offense can be the reason that we win some of these games in conference play. I mean, we thought that the defense would be the identity of this team. They are anything but that right now. I mean, they got serious. They got to do some soul searching still going into next week. And I think I think next week is also an 8:15 Mountain Time kickoff. So if y'all were upset with the broadcast call, I know it was rough. Get ready for round 2 of it next week. I think we got them again. So yeah, at the end of the day, Kaden Salter, this offense, they did what they were supposed to do. And Damon Greaves was great. And special teams, terrible. Field goal block and Mata also had that kick low. You can blame both of them, guys. That was atrocious. This team lacks killer instinct. Hopefully they can find it at some point this season.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much we can take from that. I mean, we'll have to watch the tape, see how the game looks. See what was good, what was bad, what's going to need to be fixed. We'll start looking at our next opponent, BYU. And unfortunately, looking at the next several games, I mean, it's going to take some really good CU performances to be in those games against the next few opponents. The one silver lining that I'll get is Utah did not look very good today against Texas Tech. I know Texas Tech is looking amazing, but Utah is supposed to be a lauded, unbelievable defense, and the fact that they just pretty much rolled over against Texas Tech, against, by the way, a freshman quarterback, Dave, coming into that game and lighting Utah
redshirt freshman, I will say. Will Hammond is good.
Freshman.
He is good.
Yes, but my point still stands of like, that was their opportunity. When the game was close and the starting quarterback for Texas Tech goes down, I thought, okay, Utah has a chance. They're going to pull this out. And Utah just looked absolutely gassed. They were just getting absolutely dominated. If you want to comment that Utah's defense is still good, I don't know what game you watched because it was very bad. It was very, very bad. So you have a guy literally walking the ball into the end zone. So sure, yeah, Utah is an unbelievable defense. They're perfect. They're the best defense in the world. They're just going to be unbelievable. That's the way it is. Out of those 4 games, the Utah one's probably the one I would circle. Although, Dave, the fact that it's in Utah is not going to help because that place gets loud.
Yeah. I'm nervous about all 4 of these games.
Oh yeah, no, I am. If I'm being honest, if we go 1 and 4 over the next 5, Dave, I probably will be pretty happy about that. 2 wins, and I will call this season a success because those teams are going to be difficult. Yeah. And we have some ranked opponents coming up. We have a lot of ranked opponents coming up. This is our hardest stretch of the entire season.
Yeah. I think, like, realistically, again, this isn't this is just calling the team what it is. I think like right now we have to be hoping we can get to bowl eligibility right now with how poor this defense has been. Hopefully they can find themselves. They got a lot of gut check to do with, again, we're going to be missing Anquin Barnes. We got some injuries. We're missing a few guys on the defensive line today. And hopefully against Seton, Chrysler, those guys are good to go next week against BYU. But it was great to see the offense find some identity, find some confidence. We're winning that game from the defense. And we have to have Robert Livingston and this coaching staff start to realize the guys that they have cannot just allow to put their whole secondary on islands all the time, man. It can't happen.
Yeah. No. It absolutely is. So we'll have to see what happens. And again, you never know what happens over the next couple games. That's what I don't get with people sometime too. Like, what happens if TCU loses their quarterback, to an injury? What happens if Iowa State loses Rocco Becht? What happens if Utah loses Dampier and loses like those things can happen. They can obviously happen to Colorado too. So I'm not counting it out. If Colorado plays their best, they're going to be in the games at least. But the question is, can they actually find a way to win one of these close games against a very good team? I.e., what happened against Georgia Tech? We didn't find a way to come away with that victory, even though we were in that game. And Georgia Tech is a really darn good football team, Dave. A very good football team. So 7 points in that game is frustrating because I truly think we could have got that win if we saw this offense. If we saw Kaden Salter unleashing the ball down the field a little more, a little better play calling out of that. There's a lot of what ifs in those games. It'd be very, very, very interesting to see what's coming up with that.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, again, man, I think the biggest takeaway out of this,
love it, TMFB,
is that, man, I'm just happy for Kaden Salter. We don't have to talk about a quarterback controversy.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
Thank God, man. And we scored 37 points against a quality defense, not an elite one, but a quality one. And we go up against the best one in college football next week. Maybe we play out of our minds and win. We got Ralphie 7 with us.
That's right, we do, and it is in Boulder. Thank God. Thank God we're not going to Utah for this game. Is all I want to say. Thank the Lord above.
Yeah, well, I know we were going to keep this thing a little bit short because it is well past my bedtime.
Dave, right before you go to bed, you know what you should do.
Oh yeah. How could we forget?
You should go ahead and order yourself a Buff Box right now. All of you guys out there, hey, we're up at 12:30. What is the best food that you can have at 12:30 at night? That would be Taco Bell. And of course, Taco Bell has brought back the Decades menu with a focus on the crazy time period that is Y2K. Taco Bell's Decade Y2K menu, you get 5 faves like the Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Tacos, the Caramel Apple Empanada, the Chili Cheese Burrito, the 7-layer burrito, and the Double Decker Taco, all for $3 or less. And also, don't forget to get your Buff Box. Get your Quentin Gibson Cup. The man absolutely destroyed in the return game.
How could we
tonight.
Forget?
We can't forget. Quentin Gibson destroyed the return game tonight and made Wyoming his you-know-what in the return game. Looked absolutely unbelievable. Can't wait to see him do more of that in the future. Mm-hmm. You can get him, Jordan Seaton, Juju Lewis, or Draylon Miller on it for $7 for Taco Bell Classics. Also, big shout out, Dave, because Taco Bell donates $1,000 every time CU scores a touchdown. Taco Bell will support CU Athletics to the Golden Buffs Scholarship. So, Dave, how many touchdowns did we get tonight? How many was that again?
We scored 5.
We scored 5 touchdowns. Did we get 5 Gs going there? Was that right? 3 touchdowns plus 2 rushing. Yeah, no, 4. Yeah, 5. 5 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns, baby. That's $5,000 donated to the general scholarship fund for CU. So appreciate Taco Bell for supporting. And as always, Sco Buffs and Live Moss.
Beautiful, Russ. Wonderful ad read. Colorado area Taco Bells are the real MVP. Thank you for sponsoring our Wednesday and post-game shows. Russ, before we get out of here, man, let the people know where they can find you and what you got coming up on your channel. No Crash Out Monday, right?
No Crash Out Monday. We will be celebrating Victory Monday on Monday afternoon. So if you guys want to call in, give your opinions on K-Salt, give your opinions on the team heading into the BYU matchup, and just talk about the overall feelings that you have after that Wyoming game, you can call in. And if you win the Taco Bell Fan Take of the Week by being the best caller of the day, as voted on by me and the people in the chat, you will get yourself a Taco Bell t-shirt. This isn't just a Taco Bell t-shirt either. No. This is one of the 4 players on the cup. Okay. So you might get one of the 4 players on a shirt. It's a really cool shirt. It's not like super Taco Belly either. Like, it's pretty cool. So you could win that on Monday. And then, of course, Dave, we got Wednesday night. We got the Buff Blitz. We'll be talking about BYU. We're going to have to bring in one of the BYU fans that we talked to.
I got some
I know.
BYU fan friends. Yeah.
We got one from the bowl season. I remember the conversation at that point. So we're going to have to see if we can get a conversation going with them to find out how the season is going for them and what their feelings are. And that'll be Wednesday night at 7 p.m. The Monday show, as always, by the way, 4:30 Mountain Time. So you don't want to miss that. I appreciate everybody. Hey, make sure to hit the like on Dave's stream and my stream.
Yes.
And be subscribed, guys. It's a victory. It's a victory. We need to get some subscriptions going because it's not crash out. It's not crash out post game where everybody unsubscribes from all the channels that are Buffs fans.
Oh yeah. Well, guys, it's just been fun. I might just fall asleep to Kaden Salter highlights tonight. But everybody that has stayed up late with us, thank you so much. This is always fun doing. I'll be back with a video tomorrow, and we'll see kind of how this thing goes. But it's going to be a fun week leading up to BYU. All the pressure's on BYU, man. We got no pressure on us. So hopefully we can go out and perform beyond expectation. We'll see you guys later. Sco Buffs.
Sco Buffs.